Hey, how you doing, Tara? How's
And I'm
everything?
doing great. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for taking this
Thank
time.
you for having me. I really, really appreciate it. I love the work that Backline is doing. I am very grateful for the work that Backline has done for me and in my development, and it's something that's going to continue. And I'm just really glad to be here with everyone and hang out.
Oh my
I
gosh.
was watching, I was watching you guys do one not too long ago. I can't remember who it was, but I remember I was making my coffee in my house. And I was like, man, this is some real shit. Oh, I can cuss,
Yes, this
right?
is real
Okay,
talk.
good, good.
You
That's
can
okay, good.
be as real as
Real
you
talk.
want.
Okay, okay. That's all I needed to hear. That's all I
Let's
needed
go,
to
Nigel.
hear. I can be myself. That's good.
Yes, exactly. Just be yourself. And also, I love coffee. Two, I love that you were watching and tuning in because these are the conversations that we feel that we need to have in the industry. Just
Yeah,
real conversations about mental health, about sobriety. This conversation specifically, and
yeah,
just about creating in general and the realities of the
yeah.
industry. So I like
Absolutely.
I like to kick these conversations off with just asking, how are you doing today?
Today I'm doing great. I got a lot of sleep last night. I slept later than normal, which I feel like my body needed it. I'm a morning I'm a morning person.
Okay.
Even pre sobriety, I was a morning person, but I was just on the wrong end of the morning. Um, but I woke up this morning, and yesterday I celebrated 4 years of sobriety.
Wow.
So so I'm at. I guess I can tell you guys where I'm at. I'm in Philadelphia right now, and I am doing some recording with DJ Jazzy Jeff and some other friends of mine, Corey Farmville and Morgan Burrs, a couple of the Butcher Brown guys, and uh,
Amazing.
a great producer named Tammuz, and we just in here cooking up some stuff. And to celebrate my 4 years of anniversary, DJ Jazzy Jeff made me waffles this, and it was just incredible. And I'll post the picture at some point. But I was
Sweet.
very, very. Hey man, life is good. Life is good.
Yeah.
So
Wow. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
one,
So today's a great day.
yeah, congratulations, 4 years. Like, we're gonna get into it, but I would like to know, I mean, DJ Jazzy Jeff made you waffles to
DJ
celebrate
Jazzy
your four
Jeff made me waffles.
four years.
That's like one of the greatest stories I can tell. Like I listen. Let me tell you something. I have a lot of stories.
Yeah.
I have been on a lot of excursions in my life, but the more that I continue on the path that I'm on, every day something amazing happens. For instance, yesterday on the ride here, I just finished 3 days filling in for my brother DJ Harrison,
Mm.
plays in a band called Butcher Brown.
Yep.
And so
Love them.
I played with Butcher Brown for the last 3 days in Boston, New York, and Philadelphia. And on the way here to drive to DJ Jazzy Jeff studio, because I ended up having to go back to Richmond, drive back here. What happened was I got to go and meet one of my one of my heroes on as a pianist, and his name is Lonnie Liston Smith.
Mm.
Now, for those people who don't know who Lonnie Liston Smith is, he is one of the pioneers of the acid jazz movement. He also is one of the pioneers of the Fender Rhodes piano, which is the piano that most people see me playing when I play.
The best sound. The
It's the
best on the road.
greatest sound. Thank you. I knew where we was at. It is
Yep.
literally the greatest sound ever produced from anything. It's something that I feel like I've become a player that can become one with this instrument.
Mm.
And there's so many different sounds and there's so many different ways to do it. But Lonnie Liston Smith was he was part of also what they call the spiritual jazz
Mm.
movement. And really what it is and what that is, for those who don't really know what that is, it's just a lot of you know, it's very slow moving, but it's just very just droning. You just sit and you just meditate, and it's a very meditative kind of music. And the Rhodes has a has a huge is a huge component
Yeah.
when it comes to that kind of music. You can do it with other things if you know how, but it's really easy to do with the Rhodes. And Lonnie Liston Smith was a huge proprietor in making that music or bringing that music to the forefront. And I got to meet him yesterday, and it was just, man, my heart was so full. Like, we were driving on the way here after I met him, and there were a lot of points where I was just starting to tear up, and just because, you know, when I think about the things that I go through in my life now, my life was not this dope 4 years ago.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? My life wasn't this dope 2 years ago. Really, if you really want to talk about
Yeah.
it, it's real talk.
Yeah.
You know, but I really got to feel the love from the universe, and I'm starting to feel that warmth of the rays of the universe really with me right now. And it's just and as we get talking as we get into it, you know, I'll explain it a little bit more. But man, it's just really incredible to be clear enough to see the blessings rather than the opposite, because a lot of times that's what you focus on. It's like, oh, this shit sucks,
Yeah.
and this is bullshit, and I'm tired of sitting in a van,
Yeah.
and I'm tired of being in the airport, and I'm tired of these people cutting me off in the fucking airport, and this, that, and the other, and I'm, you know, and I don't get me wrong, I see that shit, I still see it, but but uh but I don't focus on it. I see it, but I don't focus on
It
it.
sounds
And
like you have more capacity
I
to
definitely have more
your
capacity.
being.
I definitely you know, I definitely still have issues. And we
We
all
all
do.
do.
And it's I feel that for me it's a matter of knowing that I have them. Knowing is always recognizing that you have the issue is the first step to changing it.
Mhm.
And Gil Scott Heron said it best. In order to change things around you, you got to change your mind. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Because a lot of things you can't change, but you can change. You can change the way that you see those things,
Mm.
and you can change the way that the things that you see affect you. So that's really where I'm at right now. I'm on that shit
Oh,
right now.
you're vibrating on a whole
Yeah,
other level, and I love
yeah, I'm a completely different person than I used to be. But that's the other thing is that I feel like regardless of what you do, we as people and as humans, we change every second, whether we want to realize it or not. We change. We are constantly changing. And a lot of times we just get comfortable. I can't speak for anybody else, but I just know that there was a point in time in my life where I just was just comfortable where I was, and I wasn't necessarily in the right place to be comfortable. I got comfortable in
Mm.
a pile of shit. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just very important because the saying goes, you sit and shit long enough, you start to smell like it. So
Mm.
you
Well,
stop smelling it.
well,
So, you know.
let's talk about that change because you're incredibly open about your sobriety journey and how Backline has helped. I guess like what, and actually a few folks who wrote in asked this question. They wanted me to ask you, when did you know it was time to get sober?
Hmm. That's an interesting question because I knew. Here's the thing: is when you are brutally honest with yourself. I mean, we all know when we're fucking up. Okay, let's just be real. We all know, even when we're drunk or even when we're high, we still know that we are making decisions that are questionable. we still know that we are making decisions to do things that we wouldn't do in front of our parents, in front of our elders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, just things like that. And I'm just using that as an example. So for me, there was a long period of time where I knew I needed to get sober. But I was, in my mind, having too much fun. But the problem was the fun stopped being fun. You know, drugs are supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm being real
Right.
talk,
Yeah.
drugs and alcohol is supposed to be fun. And there was a time where I started to really think about that a lot, and it started to make me act out more because I was getting to an age where I shouldn't be doing this shit. And I knew. And everybody else around me knew. Okay. But I knew that there was a point there that I needed to stop, but I didn't want to. And it caused me to act out more, and it caused me to make decisions that just were not the right decisions. And it almost, when they use the term like a bumbling idiot, and you start doing shit that's just way out of character, and just really dumb shit. And I noticed that I was starting to do those things. And there was one night where I went out and I came home at like 5 in the morning, and, and my wife had to go to work, and we at this time we were sharing we were sharing a car, and she got in the car, and the dome light was on in the car, and there was cocaine all over the car. I mean, I'm laughing about it. It's not funny, but I can laugh about it now,
Right.
because that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. This is dumb shit.
Yeah.
It's I can't believe that I've done half the shit that I've done. And I look back on it now as an older person, and I'm just like, man, it was really fucking stupid. And it's so stupid that I have to laugh at it, because it is, because looking at it from a clear mind with sense, it's hilarious. But I have to remember that I'm the one that also did this. So there's an extra bit of humility that I have for the whole situation too, because that's the thing, is when you're doing that, when you're behaving like that, you really think that you think that you're profound, and you think that everything's cool, and you think that you're getting over on somebody. But everybody knows. When I see people who are fucked up out at shows, or out in the street or whatever, and they talking to me, and they don't think I know that they fucked up.
Yeah.
It is crazy. It's crazy to me, and it makes me think about myself. And that's the thing, is that there's reflection constant reflection. There's not a day that goes by, there's not a thing that happens in my day, every day, since I've been clean and sober, that, and I'm Cali sober, by the way, I just want to say, but I was also challenged by my sponsor to take 90 days off of smoking, which to me really is light work.
Right.
I'm like, I can do that. That's easy. But it's constant reflection for me, because I'm also I'm able to see things so much differently. And so I knew that it was time for me to get sober. And when my wife got up to go to work and couldn't start the car because the damn light was on, and there was cocaine all over the car, somehow she got the car working. And she called me from work, and she said, look, you and I are going to have a come to Jesus moment when I get home. And that scared the shit out of me. I was scared to death. I'm talking about it now. And you know that you know when you get scared and your stomach, you feel like you got to fart. You
You
know,
feel it in your body.
you
Yeah.
feel it in your body. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit. And I remember that I went over to my bar that I had in my house, and I picked up a bottle of whiskey, and I took a big old chug out of it because at that moment I was so scared that I needed a minute. But that was the last one. And I knew then when I tipped that bottle up, I knew that this was going to be the last one. And it was.
Wow.
It was. It really was. And not to mention, that day on, that throughout that day, I wanted one so bad, and I still didn't. I didn't touch anything. I didn't touch nothing. And 2 weeks later, I was in rehab.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so it's been 4 years of this incredible journey for you. And you mentioned there were moments where you absolutely wanted, to go back there in that
Mm-hmm.
place. When you felt conflicted or challenged, what kept you from crossing the line?
Mm. You know, I think what kept me from crossing that line. That's a good question. Um, I think what kept me from crossing that line is thinking I thinking about the person that I wanted to be, and bringing it, because thought is powerful. Thought is the most powerful thing on this planet. There's no weapon
Mm.
in this world that is more powerful than the mind. And when I got sober, I had in my mind this person that I wanted to be. Um, but I had to always remember that I had to be that person for myself, for me. If I was doing it, if I wasn't crossing the line so that I wouldn't lose my family, so that I wouldn't lose my job, so that I wouldn't lose my friendships, I'd have been back. Because, you know, I realized that I'm not here to. Here's the answer to your question: is I realized that I'm not here to please, or not. Or excuse me, that's not the right way to say it. I'm here to take care of myself. I'm here
Mm.
for me, and no one is going to take care of me better than I'm going to take care of myself. So when I saw people who I used to do drugs with and drink with and party with, and they were wanting to hang out with me, I couldn't do
Mm.
it. I couldn't do it. And and a lot of people, a lot of people didn't like me for that. And hey, because that's the other thing about me too. I don't give a fuck what you think.
Yes.
I've never been, and that was the attitude that I carried. And that's the cool thing about this whole thing, because people always said that I was crazy then. I'm more crazy now than I have ever been, and I've gotten to the place where I am the crazy I always wanted to be,
Mm.
and that's because I never gave a fuck about what people thought about me. I clearly didn't give a fuck then
Yeah.
because of my behavior, but now I really don't care what you think, because and I'm saying that in the sense of, you know you wanted to hang out. I don't want to. It's people, places, and things.
Mm.
Those are those are the things that I avoided to keep from having to cross that line. And now I'm at this point in my journey where I can actually be in the very places that I have memories about. And it's so easy to get the fuck out of there. It's so easy. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And it's because I've allowed myself, I've embraced my growth, you know, and it's hard for people to do that. It's hard for people to, and understandably so. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be. It's a difficult thing to do. If you've ever seen the movie JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling by Richard Pryor, we all know the story about Richard Pryor setting himself on fire freebasing.
Yeah.
And this movie is a movie about him and his life. And in this movie, he basically, and this is after he got sober, he basically recreates that moment and shows the world what happened to him. What an incredible amount of courage
Yeah.
to to literally recreate a movie scene and film what was happening to you at the darkest point in your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so what kept me from doing that is because I knew that I needed to live a different life. And the life that I really wanted to live, I couldn't do that if I crossed the line. You know, I'm not no spring chicken anymore. And truthfully, in the times that I was really going in, I should not have been. I was too old to be doing that.
Mm.
You know, I was telling somebody the other day that I was really trying to keep up with a lot of people because I felt that it would help me to remain relevant. Dumb shit. You
No,
see
but
what I'm
that's
saying?
real in the industry. I feel like this industry really perpetuates that
It
thought
does.
process. Yeah.
It does. And I felt like drugs and alcohol was something that gave me energy. Obviously, cocaine gives you energy. Uh, but you know, I felt like it gave me the gusto that I needed to continue doing what I was supposed or what I was called upon to do. And it's not that. It's rest.
Mm.
Rest. For a singer, you gotta go to sleep. Especially if you're gonna be singing the way I be out there singing. You gotta go to sleep. And I'm telling you, I do not. I take my sleep seriously. I go to sleep. So, so yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Absolutely does. And honestly, I know we only have like 5 minutes left, so
Do
I'd like to
we
ask.
really?
Yeah, this
I was ready to hang
conversation.
out. Hold on.
This has been so. I know, just like the most natural, organic conversation. I love it. I would like to know when you were ready. You talked about setting boundaries post, but when you were ready to get the help you needed, why did you turn to Backline, and how did Backline help?
Well, I know Hillary.
Mm.
Hillary has worked with us with lettuce for long times, and Hillary has even seen me in uh in these situations where I was fucked up, and it was so good to know that I could call upon somebody who I was familiar with and who was a friend already to me and my crew. And also, that also kind of goes back to your last question. Having the people around you. Lettuce is a huge is a huge source of inspiration, and we all brothers. We are all brothers, and we all look out for one another. We really, really do. And it's great to have them as as a source of support, because they've always been supportive of me getting sober. And then when I got sober, like, they see me now and they're just like, bro, I don't even know. I never met this person. And it's because, we when we get sober, we become different people. So it's like you're meeting me all over again. You know, Hillary was very instrumental. Her, along with Ivan Neville, and along with a lot of other people, my wife. Uh, you know, it felt good that I could go to one of my friends and be like, oh, she's like, yo, I know this is what you're looking for. I know you need this, and I got you. And it made it so easy for me to transition from the life that I was living to now. And also, I found out how important therapy is. Oh my God. Anybody watching, go to fucking therapy. You gotta do it. If you got a drug problem, if you don't have a drug problem, go to therapy, because therapy has done so much for me in my life and in my spirit. More importantly, in my spirit. My spirit is growing. And it's because it's allowing me to learn more about myself. And Backline has been a huge part in allowing me to get where I need to get mentally, because this entertainment shit is wild. It's fucking crazy. You know, when I was a kid, I never imagined that I would be going through a lot of the shit that I go through to just get to the 60, 75, 90 minutes that I have to play these gigs and get in there. And and sometimes, believe it or not, it's hell to get there. You know what I'm saying? But when you get there, it's all good. And when I was and it's a huge support system for all musicians and all people who who may really need that help. Anybody watching, feel free to reach out to me, or reach out to Backline, or reach out to the people who know, because I'm telling you, they have done it. Listen, if they could change me, no, I changed me, but they helped me find the thing that they helped me find the resources that I needed to help change myself. So if that can help me, because I was crazy, if they can help me, then they can definitely help you.
Nigel, I just feel your spirit through this conversation, through this phone, and I know I didn't know you 4 years ago, but I know
I'm
you now, and I'm very
glad you
honored.
didn't. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm glad you didn't, because I was
Well, I'm glad
wild,
I do
boy.
now. I'm
Yes.
glad I do now, and I'm speaking on the whole for the behalf of Backline and the team. Like, we are so grateful that we have you as a supporter, and that Backline's been able to help you on your journey, and that you're a supporter of the work we do. It means so much to us. So I just can't thank you enough for giving us this time and this insight.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I thought we was gonna go for another half hour. I was ready. I was locked and loaded.
Well, I want to let you get back to your studio time, but I also just want to take a moment again to say congratulations on 4 years. Like,
Thank you so much.
did your 4 years ago, did you ever think that you would be getting waffles from DJ Jazzy Jeff?
Hell no. Hell no.
That's
Hell no.
beautiful. That is
That's the one.
so beautiful.
You know, it's great because I'm gonna write a book one day, and this whole story, this entire day is gonna be in a book. You know, they always call your sobriety date your birthday.
Mm.
So I'm fortunate to be someone that has two birthdays. I ain't worried about the other birthday though. I ain't gonna tell you. We ain't gonna make a big deal out of that one. We'll change it to this one here.
Yeah.
But you know, they always call it your birthday, and it was celebratory, and I'm glad to be around some people who also support me greatly in this. And you know, like I said, part of me being so vocal about it is it's necessary. If you really want this, and if you really want to do something about taking control of your life, you have to communicate with people and let them know that. You have to let the people you have to communicate with people and let them know that this is how you want to be, and your friends are all supposed to be around you and help you be accountable for the things that you say, because it's easy to talk the talk, you know. It's harder to walk the walk, but if you're serious about it, it's really easy. So that's something I want to tell everybody too.
Thank you so much, Nigel. You've just made my whole week with this conversation.
Thank you for
So
having me. Thank you for having
yes,
me. And anytime y'all need me, y'all want me to come on and do some stuff anytime. I am always available to you all. I'm always available.
we're so grateful.
Even when I'm eating waffles.
Well, we're so grateful. Get back in the studio, do your thing.
All right.
So honored. Thank you again.
Thank you again. Y'all have a great day.